What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we have a Tinted Lens team. Now, 7 years ago, I actually did this team, and there are a couple of different Pokemon this time I'm going to be using. What the Tinted Lens ability does, basically, it makes moves that are not very effective deal double the damage. So instead of using sometimes a neutral move, sometimes it'll be better to use a not very effective move with Tinted Lens because you get a double boost. It is a very gimmicky ability, in fact, that sometimes a super effective move is still better to use, but sometimes, you know, it can't be. So it's an interesting ability. First battle here, we have against Kitty Licker. Oh my goodness. Obviously they're talking about the cat, meow meow, and you know what, let's just get into it. So we've got a Garganackle lead here, totally not hacked, straight from the surprise trade, and I've got my Lokix. So this Lokix set is a fun set. I tried to build a different one. It is physical, but I've actually got a little bit of a different set. So we got Fling and Iron Ball here. So with Fling and Iron Ball, it's a very, very powerful dark type move. You can also do Big Nugget as well. I went for Iron Ball because I wanted to make the opponent think that, they could actually feint me so I could get my initial attack off and then I might be able to attack them right and outspeed them on the second turn. So I was trying to get some big damage on Garganackle, but as you know, it's got some really good defense there, and it's got Salt Cure on me as well. The other moves I got are Leech Life, Axe Kick, and Thief. And I've got Max Health and Max Attack EVs here, so I made a bulky set. So pretty much this Garganackle is going to be stalling me with Salt Cure, so it wasn't a very good start to the battle here. I was hoping I could get around it, but then they pulled out the Protect when I went for Axe Kick. So unfortunately, Lokix is going to go down there, but it doesn't matter. I did have a Pokemon that could get around it, but this thing, is very, very bulky. Even with no defensive investment, it's still tanky. So we're going to bring in Venomoth. So Venomoth has a really cool shiny, and it's got the Tinted Lens ability. So this one is a Bug Buzz, Sludge Wave, Giga Drain, Acid Spray set. I didn't really want to do a Quiver Dance set. I want to do something a bit different, so I went with Acid Spray. This has Wise Glasses as the item, Tinted Lens, Wise Glasses. And then we got Max Special Attack and Max Speed, Timber Nature. So it hits some pretty good speed with Timber Nature, but this Garganackle clearly is Max Special Defense, so it's able to live that very, very well, even after a Terra Grass. So this was giving me a lot of troubles. Now, I'll leave the original Tinted Lens video in the comment section as well, if you want to go back and watch it. I wonder what I did differently to both teams. Now, there were some different Pokemon. I believe I used stuff like Sigalith in there, so that's not in this team, and maybe a couple of other Pokemon there, and Motham, I think that was another one I used too, so it'd be kind of curious to see that, what I did there, so, check that one out after if you want. It'd be really cool. So we've got the end of Garganackle finally, and now we've got another Hackmon, so we've got a Cinderace. So this was a very, very good counter to my team. Any fire type pretty much was, especially Cinderace, right? So they're going to go for a Pyro Ball, and that's going to feint Venomoth, obviously. There's not much I could do about that. Was a little bit surprised I actually managed to outspeed that. So that's the end of Venomoth. Now we're going to bring in Knockdown. This is a special attacking, nasty plot sweeping set. They're going to go for the high jump kick and Libero, and they got a crit there. I want to say that one actually mattered. That crit did matter. I'm not saying I would have lived on a very good amount of health, but I feel like it would have mattered. So it's a disaster right now. So they went for the Pyro Ball, and that one missed, unfortunately for them. I was very sad about that. Then it went for a Hone Claws because we got a physical set. Interesting enough, they went for Terra Blast. I have no idea what they were thinking there, but I just went for Close Combat to finish them off. Now, I've got a strategy with this Close Combat, and I've got Power Herb as well. So instead of going for a typical special set, I went with a physical one. So another Hackmon. This is like a full Hackmon team. So if you, I just want to say this, if you do get any of these Pokemon with website names on them, they're just junk, just release them. Anyway, so Electivire is going to come in and clap Bravity's cheeks, literally. That's the end of that. And now we've got the GOAT, the unit, Illumis. Now, I managed to get an Illuma sweep. Now, I've never done one ever before on my channel. No setup at all, just throw the Illumis into the battle and it managed to sweep an entire team. Do you want to see the mighty Illuma sweep? We got a couple to upload actually. There was an M-Ball one and a Illumis one and a couple others. So let me know if you're hyped to see the Illuma sweep. Do you want me to get it up real quick? Let me know there. Let me know. It's an amazingly powerful Pokemon. So that was an Assault Vest Illumis as well. Charge Beam, Giga Drain, Bug Buzz, and Draining Kiss, Tinted Lens, Assault Vest, Health and Defense there, Bold Nature. So I'm going to bring in Yanmega now. This is a physical Yanmega. It's actually kind of a bit underrated. It's quite good. The special set's very good too, but it does get Sword Dance. Now, the next Pokemon's going to be Gengar, and Gengar's actually going to be going for Hypnosis against me, which is going to be good because it's missing. Now, this has got on it Sword Dance, Leech Life, Dual Wing Beat, and I've got Terra Blast on there for Terra Blast ground. So Gengar's actually going to miss a couple of his Hypnosises, which is really good. And I went for Dual Wing Beat there because I wasn't sure if it had a Sash, and I thought, if this move does get Curse Bodied, I want to be able to use Leech Life instead. So in comes, it's another one. Look at this. So in comes a Milotic here. Now, Milotic has got a lot of bulk to it. So I went for Leech Life, and it still lived. It's so bulky. Now they're going to go for a Scald. Thankfully, Yanmega did not get burned at all. So that was really, really good. Citrus Berry was my item, as you can see. It sort of allowed me to get a Sword Dance up and still have a respectable amount of health left. But now I can go for a Disrespect Terra Blast and take out the Milotic. So Yanmega is coming in clutch here, really getting me back into the game. The last Pokemon, of course, is another one. Man, they just went on like a treasure hunt on the surprise train. Oh my goodness. And it's Meowscarlet. So like, the only thing that could be bad here if it had, I don't know, like Terra Fairy or something. But they're going to go for Terra Grass. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Yanmega's going to do very good against a Grass type. Now they're going to go for a knockoff. So I get outsped, but since I had no item, it didn't do hardly any damage at all. If I did have an item, Yanmega would have fainted there easy peasy. However, they had a Focus Sash, so they were able to live my Leech Life, but I got so much health back from that, which was awesome. So I could pretty much go for any move. Here comes Sucker Punch, which doesn't do very much damage anyway, and Yanmega is going to reverse sweep their team. What a great comeback there, because things were looking really shonky at the start of that battle, like with the Garganacl and Cinderace. That was a great comeback. So I hope you guys enjoyed that first battle. If you did, hit that like button. And you know what? Tell me your favorite Tinted Lens Pokemon. There's not too many of them. Tell me what your favorite one is. I'd like to know. So next battle here. We got a random battle. This one is against Zed. And we have a Lapras. So Lapras is going to get hit pretty hard by Axe Kick at this stage. And I also had Fling too. So I thought, do I use Fling or do I go Axe Kick? Lapras is going to go for a Dragon Dance. So it's clearly a physical set. A lot of these ones have like Waterfall and Ice Shard and stuff like that. So I decided to go for Axe Kick and I got a Confusion, which is really cool. The Lapras did just manage to hold on there. Lapras has got some good natural bulk to it, so I wasn't really surprised. So I've got Thief. I thought, I'll just go for Thief here. What's the worst that can happen? They get themselves a Confusion. I don't know. So they get through the Confusion and they went for the Waterfall there. Now they're going to die to Thief. So that's the end of Lapras. So I was managed to live that a lot better too because of that max health. The problem here is now I've still got my Iron Ball, so my speed is halved. Now, in comes Roaring Moon, Salamence, and I was like, man, let's go for Fling Iron Ball here. I've got to get rid of this item. So they're going to be setting up the Dragon Ants here. I know they've got Moxie because they didn't have Intimidate, so I'm like, it's going to be just a standard Moxie sweeping Salamence, which is going to be very, very strong against this team. They're all basically bugs. Now they're going to go for Fire Fangs. I'm like, this is very, very bad. How am I possibly going to be able to get around this, right? They've got a Dragonette plus a Moxie. They're going to outspeed my whole team. The only answer was a Loomis, right? You're not going to ever hear anyone say that again. So we're going to go for a Terra Fairy Illumis and see if we can get ourselves out of this predicament, right? So we got that Terra Fairy. The Terra Hat is absolutely enormous on top of Illumis. So here comes a dual wing, but it's like, oh no. The first one was a crit. The second one almost takes me out. So I would have lived that comfortably if they didn't crit. So we're going to give Salamence the most beautiful kiss in the world, and it is going to faint to an Illumis Terra Fairy. So I lived a +2 with the Moxie there and took the Salamence out. That was too much. I think something snapped inside of them then and they rage quit. Imagine losing to an Illumis. All right, if you enjoyed that, hit that like button, people. Let's get some likes on this video. Illumis the GOAT is popping off right now. All right, we have got battle number 3 here. We have a Garchomp lead. So I want to say with this team too, obviously I had a lot of battles with her, right? I'd battle people and turn 1 they'd set up Stealth Rocks and they'd have like 3-5 types on their team doing that too. So like, a lot of the battles like the dip from, right? Because there was so much, like the opponent didn't have to work at all. They just set up Stealth Rocks and press the A button. So I had a lot of battles like that. It was quite frustrating to go through them all. So it took me probably a good 3 days of constant battling to get all this. So I do hope you understand how long this took me to get some of this code. But it was good. I got some good stuff though, but it was a difficult team due to all the weaknesses. So here we're going to bring in Bravery. I actually didn't get to say what this set was. It was Acrobatics, Close Combat, Zen Headbutt, and Hone Claws. Hone Claws against, like, as a normal Bravery, so I thought that was pretty cool. So I don't know if they expected... There's no way they knew I was going to use Close Combat there. I think it was just a lucky swap in, right? So this had White Herb as the item, max attack and max speed, Jolly Nature. It's not a very fast Pokemon though, so it was quite a difficult set to use in comparison to, like, you know, a special one. So I thought, we'll go into the unit Illumis, right? Now they're going to go for a Phantom Force. So I don't know if this could be some random theme team as well. I don't really know. If you could pick up on it, let me know. Maybe it's not. They might just be randomly nicknamed Pokemon. So Phantom Force is going to hit me reasonably hard, but Illumis has got some good bolt to it, especially this build here. This is my defensive build. It's very, very tanky. So we got Golem going out, and we got Gyarados coming in. So like, ooh, I could possibly get a Charge Beam boost off here. That could be really good. Like, I could boost my special attack and hit Gyarados for a decent amount. Now, I'm not going to, you know, I'm by no means going to one-shot because I have 73 in special attack and no special attack EVs whatsoever, but I might be able to do some of it. So they're going to go for a special Gyarados, which is, you know, pretty cool, and I've got a special attack rise on Charge Beams. Like, good. This is going to take it out on the next turn, right? So here comes another Hurricane, and that must have been a... Wait, that was a min and then a max roll. Did you see that damage? Damn. So Illumis got a little bit unlucky there because I definitely would have got the dub against the Gyarados there. But, you know, it is what it is, right? There's min rolls, there's max rolls, there's salt rolls, there's everything. So Gyarados is going to be swapping out against a Knockdown, only on PIMPNITE's channel. And we have a Venomoth coming in. So this Knockdown was probably one of the best setup sweepers in my team. It's a pretty good set, actually. This would be the best set you can use on a sweeping Nasty Plot Knockdown. If you like Knockdown, you want to use it, this is the best sweeping set to use, right? So you've got Hyper Voice and Throat Spray. You've got Heat Wave for any Steel types and Ice types, which is really good. Metagross got its cheeks clapped there. And Hurricane is a very powerful flying type move as well. Now, this also has Stellar as its Terra because it does have a fair bit of coverage with those two moves, and it's just that little, sometimes it's that little bit of extra power you need to feint a bulky Pokemon. So Knockdown is tearing through the Pokemon at the moment, and out comes Scissor. So I was thinking, well, I don't know what you're going to do, like some sort of priority move, or you're hoping for a Heat Wave miss. None of that happened. So Scissor got clapped. So they've got Gyarados, Golurk, and Garchomp left. So this is a battle against, what was their name? Effie? I don't know. I don't know. Well, I don't know what's going on. So anyway, we've got Golurk. So I thought, well, Golurk should have no guard, right? Well, it's got a good chance of having no guard. If I go for Hurricane, this will absolutely destroy it. I'll go for Terra Hurricane, Stellar Hurricane, and drop it, right? Because it might be max health. You know, they might have a little bit of bulk to it. So I'm going to go for that Stellar Knockdown, which actually looks pretty cool. It's the shiny kind of suits it too. So I'm going for that Hurricane, and it missed. So it's not No Guard. I say it's Iron Fist. I doubt it would be Clutch. Anyway, Hammer Arm hits me like a truck. Lot of damage there. Definitely running max attack on this thing. And now they're going to go for a Terror. I'm like, oh, man, I hope this isn't like Steel or something, because Steel isn't all that bad. But it's Terror Ground. I'm like, okay, that's... Why are they doing Terror Ground on gold? I'm confused, right? Hurricane missed twice in a row there. So that's very unfortunate. Maybe they predicted me to go for go for Heat Wave afterwards or something like that, because I missed the first Hurricane. Anyway, Knockdown got dropped there. I got very unlucky because I was actually sweeping. Actually, that could have been a Knockdown sweep now that I look at it. Man, that would have been, because Gyarados had a bit of health left. I could have fainted that with a Stellar, and then I reckon I could have got a Knockdown sweep there. Man, that sucks. Anyway, I brought in the Venomoth, and that did not take out Golurk, no way. And it's gonna fake me with Earthquake. So now I'm in a pretty bad spot here, because this Golurk is causing me a fair bit of problems. So I've got Yanmega here. Now, Golurk does have the capacity to hit flying type Pokemon. It's got stuff like Stone Edge, Rock Slide, Ice Punch. I think it's even got Thunder Punch as well. So it does have some other moves. Clearly they don't have any of those moves because they're going to go for Phantom Force. So I thought here, this is actually quite good, because I can get a Yanmega Sword Dance boost twice and then try and reverse sweep them again. So Yanmega has some okay bulk to it actually. Its defense is actually pretty good at 86 for a sweeper, so I was able to live that pretty well. So I've got Leech Life here. I don't have any Tinted Lens boost or anything, but it's all neutral, so I'm gonna feint the Golurk there. It's funny with Tinted Lens because a lot of the time you only really want to use it when you're tossing up between like a normal, like neutral damage and not very effective. That's when it really counts there, from my experience. So in comes Gyarados here. It's going to drop my attack, which is a bit unfortunate. I was like, do I go for the Leech Life boost here to get the health back, or do I just go for dual wing beat? I feel like both is going to be pretty good here in terms of damage. I felt like they'll be pretty even. So I went for Leech Life. Double damage there with the Tinted Lens, and Gyarados gets dropped, and I've got all my health back, so I didn't have much to lose there, right? So all that's left now is the Garchomp, and they can't tear it all, but I know they've got Rock Tomb. Garchomp's got very little health here, so I can pretty much go for Leech Life and take them out there. But that was a pretty good battle there. I'll admit they did really come back there after with the Golurk, mainly because I missed those Hurricanes. That sort of set them up a lot there. Let's get on to the fourth battle today. This is a random battle. This one's against Jaden. And we got Stabby Gabby. What the heck? So, that's some big points there. That's some big points. Now, this isn't the greatest matchup in the history of Pokemon, but I do have Acid Spray. So I thought, Tinted Lens, Acid Spray, and then I could go maybe Sludge Wave or something after that. So they're going to set up the Toxic Spikes there against Venomoth, which isn't a bad play because I can't get rid of them. I'd have to swap out Venomoth, then swap it back in. And I was thinking, what other moves is this going to have? Like, have a, Liquidation or a Knockoff or something like that. Then I went for the Bug Buzz, and that just got absolutely clapped. So I don't know. I don't know if that one actually mattered there, because I did have a -2 in special defense. Now they're going to bring in their Goodra, which is bad, and I'm going to bring in Venomoth probably a little bit later on to absorb those Toxic Spikes. So I brought in Bravery. They're going to go for Steel Beam, so nice. It's good to see a non-stalling Goodra set. A lot of them are just like the typical stalling sets. you know, shelter and that sort of stuff. So it's nice to see a leftover steel beam set. Very nice. So with the leftovers, that actually allowed them to go for another steel beam if they wanted to, right? However, I did have close combat on this and I managed to take Gudra out. I think that was more of a sweeping set because, yeah, I feel like Gudra would have lived that a little bit better if it was more, like, defensive. Anyway, that is the end of Gudra, which is good. And we've got the Sinister coming in. So I went for the acrobatics. Great damage there. Really, really good damage. And obviously, being a psychic Pokemon, that is going to faint. In fact, I think this could be the only Tinted Lens Pokemon that's not a bug type. Is that right? I'm trying to think off the top of my head, right? Wait, no. I think, without looking, I think Hisuian Bravery and Sigilyph are the only two non-bug Pokemon. And Noctowl. That's it. That's the only non-bug Pokemon that I've got. I actually wonder if there's another one, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Those three. Anyway, I bought an Illumis. I went for the Bug Buzz KO, and it was an absolute disaster. It actually didn't faint it. So now they're going to be able to Strength Sap and get some health back. I mean, they didn't get a lot of health back because Illumis' attack, but still, it was annoying. So I went for the Charge Beam. I was like, all right, I'll boost up my special attack and take them out. But I didn't get the special attack boost this time from the from Charge Beam. So now they've got more health left, and they've got Shell Bell on top of that too, and now my health is starting to run out. I don't know why I didn't go into Venomoth here and absorb the Toxic Spikes. I'm not sure why. I guess I just swapped in a Loomis and I thought I'd just finish them off. I have no idea why I didn't do that, like looking back now. I did these battles about 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning, so, you know, I went through so many opponents, like, sweating it out too. So I've got a couple of turns left here. I'm determined to take this out with me, or at least I can feint it. I've got Bug Buzz. I was like, come on, we need that damage, right? So there it is. Bug Buzz takes out the Sinister, so that was good. It was a counterfeit one as well. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe they just called it that. Next Pokemon is going to be Mustard Boy. It does look like mustard. So there's not a lot I can do here except Bug Buzz, and that was pretty respectable damage there. Now the Slowbro is going to use Slack Off, so they're going to Toxic Storm me here. I didn't think there was a lot of point actually swapping it out now. It's not going to outspeed anything. I'm just going to try and get a special defense drop. That's the best I can possibly do here. I know they're going to keep going for Slack Off, but at least they're going to burn the Slack Off PP a little bit. So I got 2 of them there, so I was fine with that. Illumis I guess it did its job there. It did better. Honestly, it did better than some of the other battles. That was probably its weakest performance here. So we're going to bring in Venomoth, and now we're going to absorb those Toxic Spikes from, what's his name again? I don't know. Something to do. I actually completely forgot its name. I don't know. Anyway, so we're going to go for some Acid Spray on this set, and they're going to go for Yawn. So I didn't really want to go to sleep here because if they did manage to live, there was a high chance they were either going to go for Slack Off, predicting my damage, or swap into another Pokemon. So I thought about this for a bit. I was like, nah, I need Venomoth. I think I'm going to take that slow. I was thinking now, I was like, maybe I'll get around that with Tinted Lens Acid Spray later on. And I figured they'd probably use a Psychic type move if they were to attack. So I thought Lokix was a good swap in there. So this Lokix set has got Fling and Iron Ball, and that is really going to do some damage against Slowbro. In fact, I believe it will one hit KO. So they stayed in like, oh, let's see the damage, right? That was a very, very bulky set, but great damage though, right? Side Shell Arm is going to do lots of damage, but I am running a bulky set, so I probably lived a little bit better than what they expected as well. So now they're in a bit of a predicament. Are they going to swap out and get the Regenerator, or are they going to, let the Slowbro faint? Obviously, they don't want to let their Slowbro faint, and we've got Big Donnie coming in. It's like, oh, I can steal their item, but they have boosted energy, so it got consumed. I was like, oh, no. So this Pokemon, Great Tusk, was a very, very good counter for my team. Really, really, really good counter. There were some very, very easy counters against this team when I was battling people online. That particular Pokemon just completely countered my team. So they're going to use Close Combat, which is fine. At least they drop their stats. That's good. And Lokix is down. But it's all good, right? Now we're going to bring in Venomoth. I am running Timid on this. I thought, well, Giga Drain's going to do a lot. That'd be a good thing to go for. Do I want to go Terra Grass? Probably not. So I decided not to, and Giga Drain drops Great Tusk because its special defense is kind of garbage there. So that's great, getting rid of that. Next Pokemon, we got Mustard Boy again. It's like, are they going to do a double swap for Regenerator, or are they going to go for Psychic this time? I was like, you know what? Let's go for Sludge Wave. Let's get that Tinted Lens Sludge Wave. Great damage there. And then they went for the Yawn again. It's like, what do I do this time? Do I swap again? Do I stay in just to feint it? I got a bit of a feeling they're going to swap the Slowbro out again into another Pokemon. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to stay in. I'm going to do the opposite what they think I'm going to do. Because I know they've got a Darkrai in the back. So if I swap right, that'll give Darkrai a free swapping. I didn't want to allow that. Bug Buzz completely decimates the Darkrai. No way that is coming back. So I was a bit worried about that. I know I've got all bug types, but it would probably outspeed me and stuff like that and do some heavy damage. So all that's left is Mustard Boys. Like, all right. Okay, so I've got Acid Spray. There's a good chance they may slack off while I'm asleep and then go for Psychic. Or they may just attack me. So their first turn obviously was use Slack Off. Like, all right, this is perfect. I can use Tinted Lens Venomoth here, and I can feint this. This is going to do some really, really good damage as well. It's going to stack beautifully. So I woke up the next turn, which is handy, and I managed to get Acid Spray off, which is excellent. So that's going to drop its special defense by 2 stages. So I feel this build on this Slowbro is definitely more defensive. So I managed just to live the Psychic by the skin of my teeth, right? I managed to live that. And now what I can do is go for Sludge Wave, boosted by the Tinted Lens, because that's going to do double damage. So here it comes the Sludge Wave, and that just decimates Slowbro. Tinted Lens is overpowered there, and that's the end of the battle. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. They did hang on a while there. I feel like my start, I had a really good early start to the battle, which helped a lot. All right, let's get on to our next battle. If you are enjoying the video, if you want to support the channel, hit that like button, people. That'd be awesome if you could do that. It helps out so much. And I know it's annoying sometimes, but just give it a hit, people. It's really, really helpful to the channel. And let's get on to the next battle. So we got a Breloom lead here, and I don't know what world they thought to stay into that matchup, even if I was running a special set. But yeah, that's the end of Breloom. So in comes Iron Hands. Now, Iron Hands has pretty much got my number here, unless I can get a flinch from Zen Headbutt. Then we might be cooking right. So we're going to go for Zen Headbutt, and it does about what I thought in terms of damage. And I got a flinch. I'm like, wow, that's really good. That's excellent. Because they were going for like Thunder Punch, or you're probably Thunder Punch or Wild Charge, something like that. Now, I did consider here to go for a Terra Psychic. I thought, gee, it'd be great to get rid of this. Not that they're going to be able to have much survivability, because Drain Punch is not really going to be on the cards unless I throw in Lokix or something. And I seriously consider using Zen Headbutt here, but I thought, nah, I'm not going to do that. I might just get another flinch here, or I could even miss, because I hadn't had a Hone Claws up, which could be bad. So I went for Zen Headbutt, didn't Terra, and didn't get it. Didn't get the flinch, and Thunder Punch dropped me. So I'm like, it's not the end of the world. That's fine. And I didn't wait. I could have missed that, and then they could have got a lot of damage there. You never know. So we're going to go to Venomoth now. Venomoth can easily outspeed, and I should be able to take this. So I had Bug Buzz and I had Sludge Wave. I figured both of them would probably do around the same. I was a little bit worried that Bug Buzz may not kill her, even with the Tinted Lens, boost there, because Iron Hands is very, very bulky. So I managed to take it out, which is good. So pretty good start to the battle. Now, our next Pokemon is Ogerpon. Now, this was a big counter to my teams. I was like, all right, I need to feint this. I can't play any games at all. I'm going to go for Sludge Wave, outspeeding that, and I dropped it in one shot, or at least I thought, because he lived on 1 health, the merchant available, people. And yeah, I couldn't believe that lived. So I don't know whether it was min damage or maxed. I don't know. I feel like it was definitely min damage, but that's how Pokemon is sometimes, right? So sliding into Noctowl. Noctowl obviously is going to get outsped here, even a speedy one, and they almost fainted me. The good thing was it wasn't a critical hit from Ivy Cudgel, and Noctowl was just able to live. And the good thing was I went for the Hyper Voice and had Throat Spray there too, so I had +1. So in comes Mewtwo. Mewtwo is going to be a big problem. It's very fast and it hits very, very hard. So yeah, poor Noctowl is not going to be able to, do much here. Now they did get a little bit overconfident here. They used Calm Mind, so I thought, this is going to be some really handy damage if I went for Hurricane, and I did. I landed it. Look at that critical hit. So Mewtwo lives a crit at +1. Great. That must have a tiny bit of bulk to it. And it only just lives. I'm like, this is really good. And I got a confusion. So like, do I go for the nasty plot here? And then they hit themselves to confusion. So I went for that, right? And they did. They went for Psychic and took me out. But like that was really good. So Noctowl coming in clutch there, because Mewtwo is it's a scary Pokemon, right? So bringing in Lokix, any normal person would have Sucker Punch or First Impression here, and it wouldn't be a problem, but not me. So I fling a Thief. I was like, please hit yourself. Please hit yourself. He might have Aura Sphere. I don't know what it had. And then Mewtwo used Life Dew. I'm like, what? For the life of me, I couldn't figure out why they picked that over a cover, but I don't think it mattered anyway, because I was going to fight them regardless. So that's the end of Mewtwo. Interesting, Life Dew. They got that support Mewtwo with Calm Mind. Next Pokemon is going to be Koraidon. Now, any train that had Koraidon or Miraidon had an overwhelming advantage against this team. Like, I even had some other good ones that were great against this team, like Arcanine, Hisuian. That was a really good Pokemon. I bumped in quite a few of those. That's almost just an instant loss there if you can't get around it with, like, I don't know, physical bravery and, some crappy thing like that. So there were some very heavy counters for this team. So now they're going to go for a Terra Fighting, which is fine, I guess. And they're going to go for Drain Punch. I thought, well, I'm not living a Drain Punch. There's no way, right? I would have loved to attack them, but I couldn't. And also, moves like Drain Punch were difficult because the legendary Pokemon would heal themselves. So I've got Yanmega. I thought, well, you've probably got Flare Blitz, right? Do I go for Terra Ground Sword Dance and then Dual Wing Beat? Or do I just go for Dual Wing Beat? I decided to go for Dual Wing Beat because I thought if they do have Flare Blitz, they'll at least do some recall damage, right? So 2 hits was pretty solid there, and they had Flare Blitz, which didn't really surprise me at all because it's a standard move on Koraidon, yeah? So Yanmega's down, and we got some nasty recall. All that's left now is a Loomis. Now, I terrored this Pokemon. I'll be honest with you. This Pokemon was probably the Pokemon I didn't want to terror at all, but I ended up terroring it so many times. Partly because I had Terra Fairy, and this team had a lot of common weaknesses, and Terra Fairy was, it's a very good defensive type too. So go for that Terra Fairy Loomis. Here comes a Flare Blitz, and I lived it. That was really, really good. So Koraidon actually almost faints itself, and I'm going to give Koraidon a little kiss goodnight. Tuck it into bed, with that warm milk and cookies. So that's the end of Koraidon. So that was awesome. Loomis just taking numbers today, So bye-bye Koraidon. And the last Pokemon they've got on their team. This was a no-joke team as well. And, of course, with Koraidon always comes Miraidon. So there wasn't much I could do here. I really was hoping that I could verse Miraidon with full health, right? Because I feel like I might have been able to get it around them. Then they went for Parabolic Charge of feigning me, but still a very good battle considering what Pokemon I brought there. I mean, they should have won that battle like 6-0. Anyway, let's get on to the 6th battle. We got 7 battles today, by the way. This is a battle against Super Bowser, and we have an interesting battle here because we got some, with some different Pokemon you don't get to see very often. So we got a Mew lead. Now, Mew could be absolutely anything, so I thought I'd lead with a Loomis this time. So Mew is going to swap out to a Loomis, and we got Tauros coming in here. Now, it was a normal Kanto Tauros. So it's going to drop my... That doesn't matter because I'm running a fully special set, and I decided to try and set up some charge beams here. So I got a critical hit, but I didn't get a boost. And we had, wait, normal gem horn attack? What is this? And that doesn't do a lot of damage. Like, I mean, I was running a defensive set. Man, I haven't seen Horde attack in a battle for a long time. Now it's got Raging Bull, and look how well it's taking Raging Bull as well. Like, this Illumis is, like, thick. So I missed Charge Beam. So the first Charge Beam we got a crit, no boost. The second one I missed, so things were not going well here. So I decided to go for Giga Drain to try and get some damage back, but and health back, but it wasn't enough to stave off another Raging Bull, or, you know, much. Then they tried to feint me with a... What is this set? Horn attack, Raging Bull, and tackle? So they tried to disrespect with tackle and failed there. See, when you try and troll someone with a weak move, you know, you got to make sure it feints, otherwise it's going to backfire, you know. You guys, I know that all too well, right? It's happened so many times. So in comes Florigato, and I just went for Bug Buzz here. Good damage there, and I was a bit confused why I how did I outspeed that? And Florigato Shadow Claw does not feint me. This is such a bulky Pokemon. So I was like, man, do I go for the Bug Buzz Tinted Lens again? I don't know, or should I go for Giga Drain? I decided to go for Giga Drain to see if I could, you know, conserve this Illumis even more. But maybe in hindsight, I should have gone for the Tinted Lens, you know, Bug Buzz there. So anyway, it goes for Mudslap, once again trying to disrespect me, but, you know, that's not going to do enough damage, because I've got that Assault Vest. So I'm going to give Florigato a Kiss Goodnight, but unfortunately, Draining Kiss did not do enough damage there. I was really trying to hold on to Illumis with health recovery, and Shadow Claw is going to feint me. I definitely should have gone for Bug Buzz there to feint it, for sure, on the second one. I was trying to be a smart ass there. Next Pokemon is going to be Knockdown. Now, Knockdown can easily deal with this. I can also go Hyper Voice too to finish it off and get it like a free +1 in special attack. So I thought that'd be a good idea, but I was like, wait, I can't because it's Shadow Claw and it's Ghost. So I had to go for the Heat Wave and take out Florigato. So I couldn't get myself a free special attack boost, at least not at the moment. Now, the next Pokemon to come out is going to be Mabosstiff. Now, funnily enough, this Pokemon actually caused me quite a few problems, which is interesting because it's a Dark-type Pokemon. Why did I go Run then? I think, I don't know, my controller had some sort of spasm or something. I don't know. I seen Mabosstiff with an almost entire bug team. You know, I just like, man, I've got to hit the run button. I've got to get out of this. It's too much, man. And it outsped me. I think I was like, this is a Choice Scarf Mabosstiff with Jaw Lock, and I couldn't swap out now. So I got completely countered there. So Knockdown is going to feint. So this is bad. This is very bad. So I thought, all right, well, I'll go into another. Wait, no, it had Shell Bell. It outsped Knock. It must be Jolly. So it was Jolly Jaw Lock. Jolly Jaw Lock. Look at that. So I thought, all right, I'll go for Leech Seed, and we got Protect. So I guess they're just seeing what moves I've got. Maybe scouting out if I had first impression and stuff like that, which is fair enough. I need to take a sip, by the way. Okay. Very nice. I'm having some G Fuel. You can get some beautiful G Fuel. Code SALT, 20% off. Link in the description. I'm having some Sonic Peach rings right now. I'm jumping through rings, you know. We got Lemony jumping into the battle here, and it lived on with a Focus Sash. I'm like, oh, okay. He's going to use... I was thinking of bug moves, and he used X Scissor. I went for a Disrespect Tinted Lens Axe Kick on 1 health and took the Lemony out. I had to try and Disrespect after that. Like, that's how you Disrespect properly, all right? Wait, did you guys see that? I think I seen a Doug Trio and a couple of Diglets underneath the ground there. But anyway, in comes Electros, right? I swear I seen a Doug Trio in that. You got to go back and pause that. I swear I see one. Anyway, so we got a Venomoth coming in here. And Electros can be absolutely anything. It's such a versatile Pokemon. So I went for the Acid Spray to drop its special defense. Now it's going to go for Spark. So Spark is a 3-hit KO. And Spark has a chance of paralyzing as well, which is a bit of a pain. I know I can live another Spark unless it's a crit, right? So I went for Giga Drain to get some health back, and just in case Spark did crit me, that would be bad. So I've got lots of health back, so I'm going pretty good right now. Then I got paralyzed by Thunder Wave afterwards. So it has Spark and Thunder Wave. Really, really want to paralyze me, I guess, with that set. It also has Leftovers as item too. Now, virtually any attacking move I've got here will take out the Electros, like anything, like any move I got. I thought, well, Giga Drain would be good because I'll get health back, but I'll just go for Sludge Wave anyway. I managed to outspeed. Yeah, I guess Electros isn't like the fastest Pokemon. Plus, I don't think any investment was put into speed at all. So Electros is down. So we got Mabistiff and Mew left. I was like, okay, well, Mabistiff will outspeed me here. I guess I can go for any attacking move here. So they're gonna go for a Jaw Lock. I just lived that Jaw Lock. And the Mabistiff got some, it got some Shell Bell recovery there. And I got paralyzed. That was such a big paralyze because obviously I went for Bug Buzz. And that would have easily taken it out. So Mabistiff is going to take Venomoth out. And that was like my fastest Pokemon. Virtually my fastest Pokemon. So I'm like, man, well, I'm going to be able to take this. But the problem is, then I had Bravery, which was weak to that. So like, am I going to leave a Jaw Lock or not? I wasn't really sure because this thing doesn't have very good defense. It's got a lot of health, but it doesn't have the greatest defense. So Jaw Lock just completely dominates Bravery. So, look, I've got one Pokemon left. I'm like, man, this is not how I thought it would be. I didn't think Mabistiff would be a threat, but obviously, after that paralyze and losing Venomoth, it was bad. So I brought in Yanmega. I do have Leech Life. I do have Terra Ground as well. Now, this thing had been outspeeding all of my Pokemon for a second here. I thought, well, I could go for Terra Ground, and I could go for Leech Life. I wasn't sure whether they go Protect or not. So I decided not to go for that and just go for Leech Life. So Leech Life is going to do good damage. I was just questioning whether it was going to faint or not. And if I get enough health back, that'd be good. Like, say if I got enough health back, fainted it from the Jaw Lock, that'd be really, really good. Does it have another move to use against me? And I was thinking, no, it doesn't. It's got like Player Up and some other things, so it should be fine. I went for Leech Life, and you wouldn't read about it. It lived on 1 health and got a Jaw Lock off. This thing was so lucky. So it's got some more recovery there. There's no point, obviously, using Protect right now. Yanmega's going to get its Citrus Berry. So I could have gone for a Sword Dance there. I wasn't sure though, because after how lucky they got with this Pokemon, I didn't want to take any chances. But I thought, there's one more Pokemon left, right? After this, I need to get a Sword Dance up, so I know what's left after this, right? So Jaw Lock is going to do some pretty good damage, but Yanmega is tanking it well. Plus, I can get a bit of health back here. So that's the end of Mabistiff. Now, I could have fainted it, but I needed that damage. What was coming. I knew what Pokemon was coming up because it was Mew, right? Mew is naturally bulky. So the last Pokemon here is Mew. I'm not a Muse. And I was wondering, what Terra is this going to be? I guess it would be cool if I went for Terra Ground here. That might be a surprise. Maybe you'll use something like, it could have Electric type move. That could be really good to go for that. So we're both going to Terra on virtually our last turn here, right? And it's going to be Terra Dragon these nuts. So I was like, what is that Terra supposed to be for? So I've got that I've got that Terra Ground. Now, even the Leech Life at this stage is going to do lots of damage, right? And give me lots of health back. I obviously wasn't going to go Terra Ground. So they're going to use Dank Pulse, and that outspeeds me, and it feints the Yanmega. Man, it was a speedy set. So that is the end of Yanmega, but definitely Mabistiff won them the game there easy. Like all the time, like the live there and the paralyze on Venomoth, that literally won them the game. Anyway, let's go to the 7th and final battle here. I have no idea what the trainer's name is. If anyone could translate the non-English names, that's always very much appreciated. Leave it in the comment section. All right, Dialga is our first Pokemon here. If you are enjoying the battle so far, people, hit that like button. I hope are you still watching at this point? Are you enjoying the long videos? I really hope you are. I've been really trying to make a good effort to put out lots of videos like regularly in the last week or so, and really long ones too. So I hope you're enjoying that. All right, so Dialga takes a fat amount of damage from Iron Ball and Fling. Really, really good. And I thought, well, since I don't have that Iron Ball anymore, I could go for Axe Kick and I might outspeed. So it might not be max speed Dialga, and it wasn't. So Axe Kick managed to feint it, which was a really good start to the battle. Next Pokemon, okay, Sarah. Now, this was a #1 counter for my team, too. So I versed a lot of people that had Cerulege. All they did was just click A with Bitter Blade. It was very, very hard to get around because Bitter Blade would get them their health back, and then, you know, a lot of them would have Focus Sash too, and then, you know, Bitter Blade would get the health back, then the Retain Sash. It was a very, very difficult Pokemon to get around with this team. So Venomoth can't do a lot here. I'm going to try and go for Sludge Wave, like a Poison and some Tinted Lens damage, but at this stage, it was a real uphill battle. It really, really was. So I was trying to get rid of its Focus Sash too if it had one, but then it kept getting its health back. So it was a disaster at the moment. I was really figuring out how I'm going to try and get around this. Is really my only option to go for Terra Ground Yanmega on a physical set. This is probably not even going to feint it right. I don't know whether they've got Shadow Sneak. If they go for Bitter Blade and it doesn't feint, will they be able to follow it up with Shadow Sneak and feint me? You know, like, this is the thing. Am I going to activate a weakness policy? It was such a well-suited Pokemon for this team, being all like bugs and stuff like that. And even my really bulky Pokemon like Illumis, for example, couldn't do any damage, and then, you know, Bitter Blade would still like tons of damage to even the Terra one, right? So going for Sword Dance, I'm like, you know what? I have to go for it. I have to believe that they don't have Focus Sash. That's my only way of doing this. Then they went for a Phantom Force. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm going for Sword Dance again, right? And so we got 2 Sword Dances up here. So that's +4 in attack on Yanmega. I will note as well, a physical Yanmega set, if you had Speed Boost on this instead of Tinted Lens, it would be even better, right? You could build it bulkier. Why Speed Boost gives you your boost, and then you could go max attack Adamant. That's how I would run a Sword Dance set. I'd run it with Speed Boost. But since we're running a Tinted Lens team, that's why I'm running it for. But definitely Speed Boost would be good. So I went for Dual Wingbeat to get around any possible Sashes or Weak Armors, but both of them never occurred at all. So next Pokemon's going to be Ogerpon. I'm going to go for Leech Life. That is a big suck. And that's going to get me all of my health back. So I'm like, man, this is good. This is going really well. Like, I'm getting a Yanmega sweep here, a physical one. I believe I could definitely get a sweep with this set. So out comes the homie Palkia. Now, Palkia is going to take a lot of damage, but I thought, it's got a lot of natural bulk to it, so I don't know if Leech Life is going to feint it. We'll see. We'll do a lot of damage, though. And Palkia just lives, only narrowly, so I got a whole 1 health back from that, by the way, because I was already max. So now they're going to go for an Aqua Tail. I'm like, what? And that did not feint me. So if they used... I want to go to the lengths and say if they used Water Gun, that probably would have feinted me, I think. So anyway, Yanmega just lives, and I get a Citrus Berry, and we take out the Palkia. That reminded me of the time when I had that Roly-Coly, and I went for the Endure to get the Steam Engine with a Palkia, and they missed with Aqua Tail. I'm still salty about that. Anyway, next Pokemon here is going to be Blissey. I'm like, Blissey? This is free real estate. I could go for Leech Life and just get all my health back. So Blissey just gets completely destroyed. Yanmega is completely sweeping this team, like absolutely dominating. So Blissey is down. The last Pokemon they've got here against Yanmega is going to be Tinkaton. Like, well, I've got Tinted Lens. That's going to do a lot of damage. And I also got Terra Blast as well, but I don't know what they're going to be. Like, I wasn't really sure. Like, are they going to go Terra Fairy? Are they going to do a Terra Steel? No idea. They decide to go for the Terra Fairy here on the Tinkaton. So I thought, all right, well, they're going to go for Gigaton Hammer, right? So I went for Terra Blast here, so I thought they may try and sneak in Terra Steel. And Terra Blast is going to one-shot them easy. So it was just neutral. So that's almost a Yanmega sweep. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a really fun team. Very tedious though. And I'll catch you next time. Peace out.